welcome to the Garden of Youth. My name is Youth, and today I want to show you guys our patch of comfrey. Comfrey is a herb, a low-growing plant that looks like this, but there's a tons of information online about the usefulness of comfrey and some of the warning. The reason that we grow here, I use a lot for chop and drop kind of things where it has this really deep tap root that goes down and mine all the minerals from the deep earth and it brings up to the surface, right? So if you chop the leaf and spread around on the surface, it definitely bring all the nutrient to the shallow plant that would be growing around. So I tend to grow my comfrey underneath my fruit tree. This is actually a persimmon tree. So I have a patch going here. Next to me, I have a pear tree and I have a patch under there too. But the reason that today we're going to actually be harvesting some of the comfrey leaf. And I'm going to show you two ways that we preserve our comfrey leaves for medicinal purposes. The nickname of the comfrey is also called knit bone plant, where in traditional timings, people would grow this on the farm. And if they have any injuries, whether the horse injure their legs or the pig or the dog or even the workers, the human, right, has sprained or broken bones, they will harvest this plant and use that to help the bone, the ligament heals. I have personally used this plant before when we were building our part of the home that we were working on, and somehow I had hurt my wrist. I didn't know what I did, but the next day my whole hand swelled and I could not close my fist, right? So what I did, I harvest this and we make a poultice, and within like 4 or 5 days the pain is gone, and I never really had to go to the doctor or had to use prescription or anything like that. So that's the way we use our comfrey. You're welcome to, so I want to share with you with that, right? You're welcome to, of course, do your own research. So today we're going to harvest the comfrey and we're going to make it into a poultice because my ankle is a little bit hurt. So I'm going to use that for a couple nights to see if I can address that issue. And also we're going to make comfrey powder. That's right. So for the winter use. So the powder is very simple. You can find the powder everywhere. Even Amazon carry the powder. So I'm going to harvest it, dehydrate it, and ground it up into a powder. And the way you could use it, mix it with some water and make a quick poultice that way too. So today we're going to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and harvest quickly some of the leaves so we can make the poultice and dry some. Don't really be afraid to really chop it down because they will come right back. So, but comfrey has this texture that it has this very sharp, thorny texture. So I would recommend go ahead and use the gloves to kind of protect your hands a little bit. It's not sharp that it would cut, but still it's uncomfortable sharp. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and continue to do this until I get the amount that I like. But this is one plant so far. And I have some tomato growing wild. I'm just gonna let it go, right? Very carefree type of gardening style. Just really enjoying what Mother Nature had to give us. Pretty big leaves, right? And somebody likes to eat it too. But nothing wrong with this. Just wash it up, dry it up, grind it up, and that's it. Here I am in the kitchen brushing the leaf. I am using a vegetable brush to kind of help remove dirt and debris so we can get them to the next process. I am using the Vitamix that we have, and I'm simply putting the leaves in there and grind them up. You can use a little bit water to kind of help move things along. I try not to use too much water and dilute the whole poultice, as you can see. I'm trying my best to kind of pushing and gets it going, because once it's start going, the comfrey make its own juice. This process here is the way I make my poultice. Using simple saran wrap, and the piece, not too big, not too small, it's just enough to wrap around it. I am using paper towel, and you can use napkins or some paper that is thick enough, not too thin, okay? You do want it to have a little bit holding capacity. Put in a little bit of the, about 2 or 3 scoop of the comfrey paste that we made. Spread it out a little bit and folding over the paper towel, and use whatever paper towel you have along. This one is just like the smaller piece one, but you can, if you use the big piece one, just fold it over. The whole idea is to contain the poultice in one location, so that way they're not rolling out on the seam. I'm wrapping the plastic wrapper around just like the way I do right now. If you do that way, you can contain some of the juice in there. And that's how I made the poultice bandage, I guess you can call that. And I continue to make until all the poultice are gone. You should have about 10 or 15 patches. Here we are. I'm just showing you how we dehydrate the leaves. Simple. These are leaves that I have dried previously. I'm making the powder right now, and this is our Vitamix. It's the dry one. They have two versions, was the wet one and the dry one. So this is the dry one, designed to make particularly powder, so if you like to make your own flour and such. And yeah, that's it. You can just kind of pulse it until you get to the consistency that you like. And this process is actually easier than making the wet poultice paste, because it's all dry and it goes very easily and quickly. And the dried powder that you can get from Amazon and things like that, and places like that, is so simple to make, and you can put in your pantry and have it for use all year around. That's it. And the way you use, really simple. Take it out, add some warm water to it, make it a paste, and make into a patch, and use it the same way that I just show you. Here I am going back because it wasn't as fine as I wanted to. So I'm just making it more finer. And if you have like a coffee grinder, some people used to use that to make it, but I've just find I love our Vitamix. We use that because we do a lot of green powder. We do a lot of fruit powder. Really use the dry container to make that. There you go. You have comfrey powder for whenever you need it, especially during the winter time when the comfrey is not available fresh. It's all done. Bye guys. See you in the next one.